Supplemental material. Your unelectable founders.
For their times, the Founding Fathers boasted relatively impressive credentials, but would their so-called genius hold up against the more rigorous standards which we demand of today's office seekers? Who were these renegades, these upstarts who dared challenge the might and majesty of Great Britain? The Founders represented a cross-section of colonial society and a broad range of political beliefs. We think of them as one unified body, but in reality, their relations were fraught with tension, like the heated December 1775 exchange at Carpenter's Hall, when Patrick Henry referred to John Hancock as fucknuts. But as deliberations over independence wore on, leaders emerged. Libraries worth of books have been penned about each of these men of genius, whose extraordinary achievements and revolutionary ideas are virtually impossible to encapsulate. We do so here.
Benjamin Franklin.
He was the 10th of 17 children and had classic 10th child personality. He wrote the autobiography of Benjamin Franklin, the book he was born to write. He proved lightning was electricity by flying a kite, vindicating 20 years of meaningless kite flying. He wrote immortal maxims like, $2,145.34 saved is $2,145.34 earned. Figures have been adjusted for inflation. He invented the Franklin stove, glass harmonica, bifocals, and essentially Philadelphia. He was world famous, universally beloved, and he loved a good fart joke. Why would he be unelectable today? He loved the ladies. Loved them old, young, fat, thin, whatever. Couldn't get enough, just loved them. Also, he once wrote, quote, "As to Jesus, I have some doubts as to his divinity. Kiss the red states goodbye."
Thomas Jefferson.
He wrote the Declaration of Independence, still highly regarded in some circles. He served as America's first Secretary of State, second Vice President, and third President, thus completing an unprecedented governmental Triple Crown. He masterminded the Louisiana Purchase, doubling the size of the United States, while simultaneously halving its quality. He tinkered with architecture, futzed around in mechanical engineering. He was a botany hobbyist, animal husbandry buff, and enjoyed recreational paleontology. His personal book collection became the Library of Congress, so probably read a bit. He dabbled in French, Spanish, Italian, Latin, Greek, Anglo-Saxon, and wasn't averse to the occasional state university founding. He was an expert on viticulture, whatever the hell that is. Why would he be unelectable today? Miss Hemings, Connie Chung on line 1.
George Washington.
He was the first and arguably greatest president, first and arguably greatest commander-in-chief, first in war, first in peace. He holds the all-time record, most places slept. He carried himself in a manner that was, well, almost Reagan-esque. Why would he be unelectable today? Bad teeth and syphilis.
John Adams.
He was the most influential figure in the Continental Congress due to primo alphabetical position. He drafted the Massachusetts Constitution in 1780. He was the forebear of a long line of distinguished public servants, including his son, John Quincy, the 6th president, great-grandson Henry, historian, cousin Sam, brewer patriot, and great-great-grandnephew Grizzly, a bearded outdoorsman. He claimed he was willing to make principled, unpopular decisions. Why would this founding father be unelectable now? He actually made principled, unpopular decisions.
Alexander Hamilton.
He was the author of the majority of the Federalist Papers, including the least boring ones. He French-bashed before it was cool. He was a huge fan of democracy. If his, quote, "the people are turbulent and changing, they seldom judge or determine right," is any indication. He founded the New York Post in 1801, dubbing the young Andrew Jackson Wacko Jacko. Why would he be unelectable? He was born in the West Indies, so constitutionally, his presidency would have been impossible. He also had an unfortunate tendency to duel and lose.